So you're probably coming into this space looking at charts, looking at graphs and volume and liquidity and all of these things that have to do with charting. And you're like, how do I do TAing, technical analysis on charts? Well, my name is Oto Gomes. I've been in the crypto industry for almost a decade, and I want to teach you some cool little tips and tricks on how to look at charts the right way. So first off, it takes years to embody the connections and the numbers and the specific places to look at to really know exactly how to use technical analysis to benefit you. It's as if it's really like looking at a crystal ball or tea leaves to then determine which trade you should or shouldn't do. There is a lot of variables that you look at, but at the end of the day, it's just you determining and connecting your own dots to then decide on the thing that you're going to do. So that's the first thing. Now, with that said, there are some fundamental things that you can look at to start getting a grasp or a basic understanding of how to properly look at those charts. Okay. The first thing we're going to look at is the candles. Now, what's a candle? When you're looking at the chart, you see the bars. There's green bars and red bars. And those are, we call it painting the chart. Those are the buy and sell orders within specific parameters. So you can view the chart in, let's say, a 15-minute window. Okay, when you click a 15-minute window of that specific chart, each bar, whether it's red or green, it's a 15-minute window that you're looking at. And so within that 15-minute parameter, those are the trades that happen. Either it was an accumulation or more sells or an accumulation or more buys. So that's the first thing you look at is the actual candles themselves. There's a specific type of candle that I like to use, and it's called Heiken Ashi. And that just helps me look at certain parameters. And if you want to know more about that, make sure you take my course. I dive a little deeper into that. Another variable that you want to look at is the order book or depth chart. So what that shows, the order book, is every single open order that's on the buy side as well as the sell side. And the depth chart, so you can see it as numbers on a list, or you can see it as a depth chart, which shows the depth, which as you go either higher into the dollar value or lower into the dollar value, it'll start to be higher and higher in quantity usually. So the lower the price or the higher the price if you want to sell or buy is going to increase in volume or in liquidity as you go further and further into either opposite ends of the spectrum. So looking at those two things it is really important when you're considering like investing into a project. Third thing is the trade book. The trade book, that's the meat, okay? All those first two things, the candles as well, even the depth chart and the order book, those things are kind of still in a speculative stage. The order book, those are the actual orders that are being executed. So you can see, okay, well, this was an actual order, and then you can determine based off of that. And then the last thing is to make sure that you zoom in, zoom out. I give that advice all the time. Make sure you zoom in close enough to see what's happening in the moment, and then zoom out, meaning go from the 15-minute candle to an hour, or to the daily candle, or to the weekly or even monthly candle, which is a monthly candle is where that bar, right, the green or the red is the time frame is a month or a week or a day. And so zooming in and out of a chart really help in connecting your own dots and using discernment to decide if that investment is the correct one or not. So to summarize, what we really want to determine, or we really want to embody here is discernment, right? Discernment is what? It's a combination of intellect, looking at technical analysis, those variables that I shared, even there's other variables that you got to look at, and if you want to learn more, dive deeper. And also checking your gut. Taking in as much information as you can, and then stopping the consuming of information, and then sit on it and allow your system to kind of connect the dots and decide for you. The intellect can only do so much to where the gut needs to come in and kind of support the rest. So if you want to dive deeper into this, go to my website, otogomes.live, or follow me on my social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, Twitter. You can see my interviews that I do on Spotify and iTunes podcasts. And always make sure to gamify your abundance. Love you guys.